Hello students, after a long time gap, I am here again to discuss the remaining topics of civil engineering subjects. Now in today's video, I am going to discuss another method to get the slope and deflection of beams and which is called as conjugate beam method. Now conjugate beam is an imaginary beam. Now remember or see, whenever you want to analyze any beam, there are always three questions in your mind. First, what is the span of the beam? Second, what is the loading on the beam? And third, what are the supports of this beam? Conjugate beam is an imaginary beam. So first question is, what is the span of the conjugate beam? Now span of the conjugate beam is equal to span of the real beam. So both the beams, that is real beam as well as conjugate beam, both are having the same spans. Second question, what is the loading on the conjugate beam? Now loading on the conjugate beam is M upon EI diagram of real beam. Means always you will have to draw M upon EI diagram for the given real beam and use this M upon EI diagram as the loading on the conjugate beam, which is also called as elastic load. And third is the supports for the conjugate beam. So supports, or in order to select the supports, we should always bear in mind the relation between slope and deflection for a real beam and the shear force and bending moment diagram of a conjugate beam. Now slope and deflection diagrams of real beam are analogous to shear force and bending moment diagrams of conjugate beam. As such, it is necessary to select support conditions for conjugate beam so as to maintain the analogy between the beams. So this method, that is conjugate beam method, involves considering the conjugate beam. And conjugate beam, as I told you, has the same span as that of the real beam. The loading on the conjugate beam is the M upon EI diagram of the real beam, and the supports are to be changed. Why the supports are to be changed? In order to maintain the analogy between the real beam and the conjugate beam. Analogy in the sense, the slope and deflection in real beam is equal to the shear force and bending moment respectively in the conjugate beam. So we'll have to maintain this analogy. And how the supports are to be changed, I am going to show you with the help of an example. Now here what I have done is that I have considered a cantilever beam in which end A is fixed, end B is free. Now as it is a cantilever beam, I am going to call it as a real beam. And now my target is to draw the conjugate beam for this beam. Now again, first thing is, what is the span of the conjugate beam? So that is the first question. Now we know that the span of the conjugate beam is equal to the span of the real beam. So I'm going to consider the spans of both of these beams as same. Now I want to change the supports. Now I want to change the supports in order to maintain the analogy between the two beams. Now support A. Now see, in case of real beam, if I consider support A, it is a fixed support, and for fixed support I know that slope is 0, that is theta A is 0, and deflection at A is also 0, that is delta A is also equal to 0. So theta A and delta A both are 0 at A for real beam. But again, slope at A in real beam is nothing but shear force at A in conjugate beam. So if slope at A is 0, shear force at A in conjugate beam must also be 0. So if theta A is 0, shear force at A in conjugate beam should be 0. Similarly, if delta A, that is deflection at A in real beam, if it is 0, then the bending moment at A in conjugate beam should also be 0. Shear force should be 0 at A, bending moment should be 0 at A in conjugate beam, because the end A is fixed in real beam. As such, these values of theta and delta A both are 0, and that is why SF at A and bending moment at A must be equal to 0. This is how the analogy is to be maintained. But in order to do that, in order to get the shear force and bending moment at A is 0, we'll have to change the support conditions at A. In real beam, A is fixed. Now here, shear force is 0 at A, bending moment at A is 0. This condition can be satisfied only by the free end, because at the free end shear force is 0 and bending moment is also 0. This is how the fixed support in real beam becomes a free end in conjugate beam. Now similarly, see, let us see what happens at the point end B. Now at end B in real beam, shear force, sorry, the slope as well as the deflection both are not 0. So theta A is not equal to 0. Theta B is not equal to 0. Delta B is also not equal to 0. Means both, that is slope as well as deflection both exist. So we'll have to select a support in case of conjugate beam such that shear force and bending moment both are existing, and the only support which satisfies this condition is the fixed support. At fixed support the reaction is there, at the fixed support the fixed end moment is there, means shear force and bending moment both exist, and that is why the free end in a real beam becomes fixed end in conjugate beam. Now let us go to this example. Example number 2. AB, I have shown the beam AB and A is hinged and B is roller supported. Now at end A, which is a hinge support, theta A is not equal to 0, means slope will be there. Theta delta A is equal to 0, no deflection will be there. So this condition, if we want to achieve it, or if we want to mm, maintain the analogy between the real beam and the conjugate beam, shear force at A in conjugate beam should not be 0 and bending moment should be equal to 0. So hinge support as well as roller support both satisfy this condition. But what we do in case of conjugate beam method is that the hinge support we keep it as hinge in conjugate beam also. Same is the case in case of roller support. If there is a roller support in real beam, it is to be replaced by a roller support in a conjugate beam. Or you can say that hinge support in a real beam remains hinged in conjugate beam, and roller support in a real beam remains roller in a conjugate beam. Let us go to the third type of support. Let us consider the third type of support, which is the internal hinge. Now let's see is the internal hinge. I have shown the beam cut on both the sides and it is an internal hinge C. Now we know that at internal hinge, theta, that is slope, as well as deflection, that is delta, both exist. So both are not equal to 0. As such, we should select a support in conjugate beam in such a manner that shear force should exist and bending moment should also exist, and these two conditions can be satisfied by an interior roller support. So internal hinge in a real beam, internal hinge in a real beam becomes, so this is the internal hinge, internal hinge in a real beam becomes interior roller support in a conjugate beam. Now let us go to the fourth example, that is interior roller. Now let D is the interior roller support. Now and it is the real beam. So this one is the real beam. And I want to draw the conjugate beam, and accordingly I will have to change the supports. Now here in case of interior roller, we know that the slope at D, that is interior roller, is not 0. It is not equal to 0. Whereas deflection is 0. As such, for conjugate beam, we will have to select a support so that shear force at D should not be 0 and bending moment must be equal to 0, because bending moment is analogous to slope, and here shear force is analogous to the bending moment is analogous to deflection and shear force is analogous to the slope. So such condition or this condition is satisfied by an internal hinge. So interior roller is to be replaced by an internal hinge. So this is how the supports are to be replaced. The fixed support becomes free, the free end becomes fixed, the hinge support remains hinged, the roller support remains roller, the internal hinge becomes interior roller, and interior roller becomes internal hinge in case of the conjugate beam. Now I want to discuss few more points. Now I have shown two columns over here. One is for actual beam, another is for conjugate beam. Now, if actual beam is statically determinate, then conjugate beam is also statically determinate. If actual beam is statically indeterminate, then the conjugate beam is unstable and is held in equilibrium by elastic loading. If in case of actual beam, Ra is the reaction at A, Qa is the shear force at A, theta A is the slope at A, delta A is the deflection at A, and Ma is the bending moment at A, the corresponding values in conjugate beam are shown by means of a dash over here, means prime is used. Ra dash is the reaction at A in conjugate beam, where it was Ra in case of actual beam. Qa dash is the shear force at A in conjugate beam. Theta A dash is the slope at A in conjugate beam. M dash A is the moment at A in conjugate beam. So you should remember this. If bending moment is positive in actual beam, the elastic load in the conjugate beam should be considered acting downwards. So remember it well. If the bending moment is positive in real beam, the elastic load should be considered to be acting in downward direction. On the contrary, if bending moment is negative in actual beam, then elastic load is to be considered acting upwards. So this is what you will have to remember.